What's going on, YouTube? Finally back on the US of A soil. Glad to be back. When you leave this country, at least for like going to Mexico and places like that, you tend to kind of suffer. And what I mean by suffer is the technology and the things that you're used to in the US, you really can't use there. And if you do use them, they try to pretty much rob you with the prices and things of that nature, whatever. So long story short, that's why I didn't do any videos. It didn't work out. So now I'm back on soil. Now I'm have some new information for you. And what I want to talk about today is pretty interesting. And some of you guys may have go through the same thing. I'm going to ask you a series of questions related to a vacation, and you tell me your answer. When you go on a vacation, are you one of those people that need like 10 people in your group in order to have fun? Or can you actually go with your spouse, just you two, and have fun? Or can you even go on vacation by yourself and have fun? Because the reason why I'm asking those questions is because I think the word fear is involved in all those things. Let me give you an example. When I was flying down there, we rode on those little bitty planes. You know what I'm talking about, the little United Express planes or American Jet Express or whatever. But anyways, so we didn't have that many people on the flight. So the stewardess said, hey, can we have some people move to balance the weight? So my wife was already on this side and I was on that side, so I continued to stay in my seat. But there was this one couple, and they probably were around maybe 55 or whatever. So the husband said, volunteer, okay, hey, I'll go to the back. And his wife looked like someone had just passed away. It was just like this face of fear. Like, oh my gosh, my husband just left me. What am I going to do in this seat by myself? Long story short, at the end of that, before that flight was over, and the flight was only 1 hour, 30 minutes into the flight, she got up from her seat and she went and sat with her husband. Are you that dependent on a mate? That's just one question. Let me move on to the next one. So when I'm in Cancun, the all-inclusive resorts to me, and I always thought these things were cheesy, and in a sense now I still do, because these all-inclusives were basically built on people with fear. Now you may say, what are you talking about? Because you get all these things paid for and everything, the liquor's paid for, that's why they're created. Yeah, to an extent. But at the same time, for instance, if they preach on fear, like if you leave this resort, you have to probably take one of our cabs. That's the most safest way. They're private cabs, and usually these private cabs are more expensive than the regular cabs outside or the city bus. So what I did when I went to Cancun, I took the city bus. And we came back to the resort and told a couple people, and were like, oh my gosh, are you crazy? You took the city bus? What the locals take? Like, yeah, actually the city buses were actually pretty luxurious. I love taking, what's wrong with taking a city bus? But people in their mind, they have this such thing of fear, like, oh my gosh, it's forbidden. You can't take the city bus. So they get you on a lot of things, and even though it doesn't cost that much to do certain things, they stick it to you when it comes to price because of your fear. You know, I went to Walmart by myself, and I met a couple that I had met at this all-inclusive resort, and it was like, hey, Abdul, where are you going? I said, oh, I'm going to Walmart. By yourself? Yeah, well, I need to pick up a couple things. Why wouldn't I go by myself? But see, there it goes again. People are just surrounded by fear to the point where people can't even experience certain things because they're so fearful, and the things they're fearful about don't even exist. I mean, what do you think is going to happen on a city bus? There's local people on a city bus. You know, I mean, some people say, well, the cartel could come on a bus and mow everybody down and take your wallet. Yeah, but they can do that in the U.S. also. I fear some cities more cities in the U.S. than I fear in any other place in the world. But I don't let this stop me from going there. You can't you can't hold your life hostage because of what if this may happen or what if that may happen. Some people don't fly on a plane because they feel like, well, what if the plane goes down? Some people don't even drive a car. I know 2 people in my life right now who are very, very, very afraid when 18-wheelers come by, driving on the interstate. Some people just take the back roads to go to places. Some people's lives are driven by fear. If this is you, talk about it today. Or if you think this is ridiculous, also talk about it. But this is just something that I've noticed in people, and I'm just relating vacation with everyday life. Because my question is this: if you're fearful of those things, that fear probably spills into other things like business, like finance, taking chances. Because in your world, you just live in, well, what if this happens and what if that happens? So that's my question to you today. Thank you guys for holding off for that week. I had to let my brain heal for a little bit. Now I'm back and I'm ready to go. So if this is your first time watching the channel, glad to have you. Please subscribe, and until next time, signing off.